In a world that is robbing dudes of their dudeness, three normal, everyday, middle-aged dudes are taking a stand for dudes everywhere. Join us as we talk about life as a dude in today's world.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome to the Dudefinity podcast, the only podcast dedicated to all things dude. My name is Sterling, and joining me as always, a man until recently didn't really need an introduction, Jordan.
What? Until recently, I didn't need an introduction?
Yeah,
Jordan,
no
okay.
introductions necessary. It's not like you were going around beating people.
No. That's entirely what I do for a living away from this, but yeah. No. How are you, man? What's
Not
good?
bad, brother, not bad, brother. Out here living life. It's a crazy world. See, 2026, bro, has been wild. It's
Yeah.
it's I don't even have a watch. What are we? We're 14 days in, and this has just been one of the craziest things I've ever experienced.
Dude, things have just really I don't know about you, but it seems like the longer we live, the faster the world spins.
Oh man, yeah. Yeah.
And with it, just it's like we're like you know those things that you used to see in Gladiator back in the day that would spin and they'd try to run through them and they had the foam thing and they would hit them in the face
Oh
and they
yeah,
would try to like avoid it and like go under it and all kinds of stuff. I kind of feel like life is just trying to not get hit in the face with the next thing.
Well,
all
so
the
what I'm
time
going to
right
say
now.
is I think you're referring to American Gladiator, and
Yes, American
you're
Gladiator.
you're badly
not to be
dating yourself.
not to be mistaken with a Russell Crowe's version of
Well, that's what
Gladiator.
I was thinking. I was like,
Yeah,
I don't
I get
remember
that. I
any
see why.
spinning things. I do remember Russell Crowe though. He's a good actor.
This guy kind of spun when he like went a little crazy, but that was about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no. So
It's
like
going
we're
off
just
the rails
dodging.
already.
Well, I mean, the definition in Chat GPT of our podcast talked about how we go off the rails pleasantly. So
It does.
kind of perfect.
If you've never asked ChatGPT about yourself,
You
do
should
it.
try
It's
it.
it's
It's
weird.
kind of. But no, dude. This year's just been nuts, right? 2 weeks in. 2 weeks in.
2 weeks in, man.
And I'm telling you, it's just one thing after the next, you know, and it's kind of wild. I gotta start with something. Do you care if we dive right in? Can I dive right in?
Dive right in. Do it.
All right. So for my job, I drive a lot, and I use GPS, and I got a pretty good sense of direction. Like I'm a guy who knows if I get lost in a city, they're all grids, and if you go this way, you can come back. You know what I mean? Like I figure all that out, right?
Right.
Roads like Route
Take me
614 and 607
to
and
the
719 and
place.
they all look the same. Yes, thank you, John, not Denver. Um, but so I'm in the backwoods today, and this Verizon outage, dude, just absolutely had me twisted. I had no idea where to go, and the maps in my car weren't working, and then so I was just in a weird way. And
Yeah.
I finally stopped and asked the guy at the convenience store, and he's like, "You're like the sixth or seventh person who's come through here and asked me today for directions. This never happens." And I was like, "Well, yeah, there's a phone outage." He's like, "Oh, is that why my phone's not working?" And I'm like, "Probably." And he started laughing. He goes, "Well, man, hang a left, make a right, go 2 stoplights up, make another left. You'll be where you need to be." I'm like, "All right, cool." But I say all that to say, I have some interesting thoughts behind why Verizon had an outage today.
Okay.
And
All
I
right.
kind of want to see what you think. Look, man, Donald Trump has stood up to the world. Donald Trump has said America's not going to be a doormat. Donald Trump has said if you kill innocent people, we're probably going to be an asshole to you. Hey, you're getting ready to cross the red line and killing protesters in Iran, and then we got everything in Venezuela. It kind of feels like to me that the Russians or the Chinese or the Iranians or somebody might have just kind of done something to go, hey, look what we can do. Because listen, man, if there ever is something that goes crazy here, guess what's one thing that they're going to take down? Our ability to communicate with one another.
I mean, maybe. I'm more of an Occam's razor kind of guy. Breaks. Well, that's me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Nope. I'm not saying it was the Russians, but it might have been the Russians
Okay. All right. All
or
right.
the Iranians or the Chinese or
I'm
the
gonna be honest with you. I think Iran has
a
vastly
way
more
bigger
things
fisher
to be
fry.
worried about
Uh,
than taking out cellular service for a few hundred
no,
million
but I wouldn't
people.
be surprised if Russia did it, you know. But here's the thing.
Maybe.
So, well, but you know what's interesting? I don't even think the Ayatollah is in Iran. I don't know if you saw where he dropped that message the other day about the US or whatever, but it was in Russian and it was in like broken Russian. And a lot of people think that maybe he's over in Russia because that's where he would go if you know what I mean?
I mean, it's certainly a possibility. If he's smart, he gets the out of Dodge. But listen, I'm never. Uh, it's so like okay, Venezuela, Maduro. Like I get it, makes sense. I understand why.
Yeah,
Do I think it's the best move? Probably not. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what happens.
right.
Which it's a huge risk, and the benefits may or may not be there afterwards. But I think one thing, if we are willing to go and do that and not willing to intervene for moral reasons for these people protesting to take back their country,
Yeah.
I don't know how you can, at least in a moral standpoint, not use. I mean, let's be honest here. It's not like Iran, it poses a massive threat to the US
Anybody?
or,
No.
well, other than, their own citizens.
Right.
And here's one thing I did read about today. Uh, Trump had non-essential personnel evacuated from
I did see that.
yeah, I think it's Al Assad in Qatar.
Well, there was a couple of yeah, it was Qatar, and then there was a couple other places too I was
Mm.
reading, but um
Do you know when the last time he did that?
when he dropped the big bomb on ISIS?
No, that was
No, it was when he struck the Iranian yeah,
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 the nuclear
the
sites.
nuclear
So
sites, yeah.
maybe we're gearing up for something. I'll be honest. In this particular case, I hope so.
You know, here's one of the things that I think a lot of people got to realize too. You know, America's great at toppling regimes. We haven't been the greatest. We're not good at
Nation
like
building.
building them.
We're
Eh,
not good at
But
nation building.
but you know, I gotta say, I hear me out on this when I say this. Donald Trump's never been president and done it. And Donald Trump builds things. And Donald Trump does a good job with things. And Donald Trump puts the right people in places to do good jobs. And I just wonder if he'll put somebody in a box and Venezuela will be fine. You know what I mean? And the Iranians are already going to topple their own regime. So they don't need us to do anything other than
I
maybe
don't know,
protect
man.
them.
I don't. Yeah. Well, I was just gonna say, I, you know,
They
I
might
don't
need us
think
to
that's.
protect him, but I feel like they've got that prince or whatever his name is, the guy, the son that's like outside of the country. I forget his name. You know what I'm
Uh,
talking about,
I
right?
do.
What's his name? I'm drawing a blank.
I love that you think I know what his name is. It's
Well,
it's a
usually
big
you
compliment.
know. Well,
It's a big
usually you
compliment
know.
to me and
Well,
my knowledge
usually
of geopolitics.
you usually know a little bit about a little bit.
I
So I just
do,
figured if
but
anybody knew the name of that guy, you would. But he is pushing for the regime change. My guess is he would probably be somebody that they look to very
well,
quickly
so
as a leader
so
for the country. Like
so he's got a plan that he wants to go in there and run things until they can set up
figure out what they're gonna do.
national elections.
Yeah.
I, maybe,
Yeah.
or maybe you accidentally install another dictator. Who the knows?
I know,
What
right?
I do know is that there's a bunch of people dying in the streets, and we've got the
No,
power to
there's
do
only
something about it.
hundreds.
I know, yeah.
According to the
They're
prime minister, there's only
well,
hundreds.
their foreign
The
minister
foreign
was on.
minister.
Yeah,
Foreign
he's
minister.
and
There's hundreds.
it's the
And it's the
Israelis
Israelis' fault.
and yeah.
The Israelis' fault. Yeah, because the Israelis influence. You know what was weird was to listen to him, who his country is a state, his government is a state sponsor of terrorism. To listen to this man sit there and talk about the Israelis infiltrating them as terrorists.
Well, I don't think that they
Like, but right? Like,
I don't
I
think
don't
they
know,
look at it
man.
like that. They don't they're
But
not
that's what
looking
he
at it.
said.
Well, so it's like, anytime that you are affecting policy in other places,
I
you
know.
know, it's just the difference between us doing it with, like, throwing our economic weight around or power projection. They don't have that ability, so the only thing that they can do is fund terrorist organizations. And
Right.
yeah, not saying it's good. It's fucking terrible, but that's
But,
I
so I was thinking about something the other day, and I wanted to ask you about this. I'm just kinda curious, and it's along the lines of the Middle East. You and I both talked about how, yes, Hamas might be a terror organization, but they're also at their core, what are they? They're a political party.
well, I was just gonna say that, yeah, they're a
Hamas is
political party.
they might be an extreme one, but they're a political party, and they were a duly elected leader of Palestine, right? And of
Sure.
the Palestinians. I'm just
In
saying,
Gaza, yeah,
in
yeah,
Gaza, yeah,
okay.
yeah. So then I started thinking about like the Middle East and why like that's been a problem. And then I started thinking about Mamdani in New York and just kind of like electing someone like that said we deserve 9/11, someone that has said that
Okay.
and elected him on in a country that was like one God under, one nation under God, that whole thing. Like everybody's been sworn in on Bibles for years. We swore them in on 2 Qurans that, quite frankly, people can get mad, but it does call for, to treat people that aren't like you different,
Mhm.
and there's a lot of verses in there that kind of, or quote unquote passages in there that are questionable to. I just wonder if there's some parallels to, are we starting to elect people that we're just gonna have consistent problems, and we're gonna turn like New York into like, small third world country. I mean, it's
That's
the size of a
great.
small third world country. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just
So,
saying though, like, I'm not trying to be the ideas that they want to do, the stuff that he's doing. I don't know, man. It's just, uh,
well, you know, communism's never worked, not once ever in the history of the world. So, but listen, yeah, part of the problem when I said that on the podcast, and we made a little snippet and tossed it out there on the internet, and it was one of the things that we've got said that's been said on this podcast that got the most pushback. And sure as shit, somebody got in the comments and said, well, in actuality, even though I know you said this,
real
no one's ever
communism's
tried
never
real
been done.
communism. Oh, yeah, because every time somebody tries to do real communism, it never lasts. It turns into what communism always turns into, which is like
Well, eventually greed supersedes altruism, dude. I don't care what anybody
100%.
says. You
Well,
know what I mean? Like,
it
and it has throughout every society ever.
well, and
In the
it's one of
animal
those.
kingdom, it
Yeah,
happens.
it's not even necessarily. It is greed to an extent, but when you think about it, if you and I go to work and I work
Survival
10,
of self.
well, if I work 10 times as hard as you,
Yeah.
don't I deserve to get 10 times as much?
Yeah, heck yeah.
Exactly. And it's like it just doesn't work. It doesn't work. And socialism and communism, by the way, in case you didn't know, are two separate different things. Um, you can have social programs. I'm not saying that you can't should and you should have social programs. There are when you develop a society to an extent that you have an overabundance of resources, you can afford to use some of those resources to help the folks who are less fortunate, or
Well,
rather have
yeah.
less ability than maybe some others do.
So I'm gonna
That's not
disagree with you.
communism.
I'm gonna disagree with you. I don't think that there should be social programs in a lot of places, and here's why. I don't think there should be social programs that are funded on my tax dollar if I am working 10 times harder than the person that's receiving them. I do not think that there should be social programs on your tax dollar when you
Mhm.
are, funding Social Security for people. No, I think that governments should be like business. And for the first time ever in my lifetime, I have to say, one of the coolest things that Donald Trump's done is the sovereign wealth fund stuff, man. And if we can get more of it and we can get, I heard him say, I heard that the energy guy. What's his name? Doug? Is it Doug or Interior? Doug Burgum. It was Doug Burgum, the old governor of one of those plains flyover states. You know what I mean? Um, Midwestern plain flyover states. I think whatever Christy Nome wasn't, he was the other one. Whatever Dakota that is.
Okay.
Um, one of the Dakotas. So he was saying basically that that oil that we got from Venezuela
Mhm.
is not refined,
Right.
but we might not refine it at all. We might just sell it
Mhm.
and then deposit the money in the sovereign wealth funds.
Okay.
And I'm like, wow. Imagine if the government see the problem is the government makes money off of us
Mhm.
when the government should be making money off of business,
Piracy?
import, export. No, well, okay,
But,
yes. But do
uh,
you see what I mean? Like, it should be
I
making
get
it
what
off
you're
investment, like, the
yeah,
Intel
I
thing,
mean,
incredible deal for us. The
sure.
NVIDIA, like and we're
Okay.
doing more of that, and we're looking for more of that, and I think that social programs, if government is making I mean, yes, we're gonna have to pay taxes, we're gonna have to do something, right? But I think we could pay a lot less taxes between tariffs on goods, which, by the way, got news for a lot of people. Tariffs didn't blow the economy up, thank you. Tariffs actually made the economy a lot better, because there's a ton of investment coming in here
Mhm.
because of it.
Okay.
Um, and the sovereign wealth fund. Between tariffs and the sovereign wealth fund, the citizens of this country wouldn't have to pay half the taxes they're paying, man. Like it's getting a little and and
Uh,
and making
okay.
able-bodied people do the jobs that other people were coming in here. Like, you know those jobs that all the illegal that people are like, "Oh, the illegals aren't doing them?" Or the illegals are the only ones who will do them, and now there's no one to do them.
Sure.
Yeah, there is. There's people sitting on their ass collecting unemployment in this country that are able-bodied. Make them do it.
All right. So, boy, I
Assign
wish I
someone a caseworker, assign someone a caseworker
uh-huh.
when they're on unemployment, and make that caseworker get them a job. It doesn't matter what it is. They gotta go do it or you're not gonna get any money. That's it.
So, oh man, there's a lot to unpack there. Um,
I know.
all right. So, when it comes to social programs, I think you've got a narrow view of what includes social programs. So, like Medicaid, that's a social program.
I know.
Medicaid covers
All the money these insurance companies are making off of their terrible coding systems,
uh-huh.
maybe save some money there and then people would have a little you know what I mean? There's too much money involved in it, dude. They don't need to make all that money, the insurance companies and the hospitals. They don't, and the doctors.
I mean, hospitals are near on a failing business model.
Oh,
Uh,
hell yeah. Hospitals could at least balance, you know what I mean? If they yeah.
Medicaid is so part of the problem is that for to get on Medicaid,
Yeah.
generally speaking, you have to either have a disability, you have to be a mother, a
Mhm.
single mother with a child, or a low income parent with a child, or like I say, it's that or disabled, one of the two.
Yeah.
Um, if you're
I'm all for
disabled, it's
disabilities,
really
just so you know. I'm all for, like, SSDI.
yeah.
Like, I'm
Uh,
good with that and, like, no, but I'm good for taking care of people who really need it, Sterl. That's
okay.
the
Well,
problem. There's a
but that's
lot of
kind of what I
people
mean. You're like, there's a lot of
no,
social programs that are like
but
good
there's
things.
not no, but there's not there's too much of a hand out and not a hand up
Sure.
mentality within our social programs,
Okay.
and that's why, like, if we're the ones getting taken advantage of
I mean,
to fund these social programs for other people to take advantage of them.
I think
Think about this,
yeah.
California.
Uh-huh.
They tax the hell out of their citizens. They've got billions of dollars in debt, and yet they're paying billions of dollars to house illegals and give them.
Listen, I'm not saying that all social programs are good, but I think what we need to have is a nuanced conversation about it because listen, that's where that's the whole point of paying taxes. You pay taxes so that we can all collectively put into a kitty to get things that serve all of us, such as the military, the Highway and Safety Board,
I'm all for paying
the
taxes for salaries, like military salaries, military equipment, things like that, like actual
sure.
things we need. But
Uh-huh.
I am not okay paying for my brother's wife who doesn't work to sit on her ass and collect
Jesus.
disability because she sucks at life.
Listen,
I'm
I'm
just
not saying
not.
everybody that's on that that gets those kind of benefits should be getting them. That's a different conversation. What I'm saying is that the idea that they shouldn't exist is silly. Um, Moreover,
I'm not
you
saying
get.
that they shouldn't exist. I'm saying that they shouldn't be funded by us.
I
Like
think
the
they have to be
taxpayers,
funded. Well, so here's the
to an
thing.
extent,
Well, hold on,
Like,
hold on.
if we're putting 10% up, great, but 24% of a $200,000 income in this country is bull.
Well, so here's what I'll say. You talk about tariffs funding those sorts of things. For tariffs to not collapse the economy, because that's the worry, right? For tariffs to not collapse the economy, they have to draw business into the United States. So basically,
Yeah.
the whole idea, for anybody who doesn't really get how they work, is we charge companies money to bring products in. What ends up happening when they bring those products in and we charge them money, the price of those products goes up. And then people are more incentivized to, oh, well, you know what? TVs are really expensive. I'm going to start a company and make TVs in the US. That's the whole idea.
Yeah.
So the inevitability is that eventually your tariff revenue will start to drop, will drop and should drop dramatically. So then
But
where's that money coming from?
there are certain things that we will always import.
Like what?
Well, like chips. I don't think we're
Why?
like the minerals to make chips. Because we're gonna have to get the minerals for chips somewhere.
Well,
We don't
we
have it
have.
here.
We in fact do. We have there rare earth minerals aren't actually rare. The only thing that China really has is the infrastructure built to refine those minerals. And also it's dirty, gross work. It's strip mining. Then we don't want to do that to our own land. You could in a pinch, but we also don't have the ability to refine it. That's
That's what
what
I'm
we
saying.
really
There's
need to
just
build.
certain things we don't want to do,
Mhm.
and there's certain things that we'll always import just because we don't want to do it.
I mean, I
So
hear you, but
I
that
just think that there comes a point in time, like, yes, there's tariff money, but like we're gonna export things into other countries, and we're always gonna buy like. So I'm just saying, like, I think there's gonna be a balance and an equal play on it. I just think like some of these places will put investment in our country, like they're doing, and you're seeing from other places. But at the end of the day, man, like between the tariffs and then the I'm drawing a blank,
sovereign wealth fund.
sovereign wealth fund. Um, I just think that sovereign wealth fund by the government owning pieces of companies around the world and different things that they're doing, it's not a bad idea for the government to make money in other ways than taxes, dude.
I'm not saying that it is. What I'm saying,
But taxes have funded this country for far too long at way too high of a rate. I'm
I
a flat tax guy, like 10%, call it a day.
Well, the problem, and listen, I would agree with that if there was not so many loopholes and loopholes that you can't really get out of. As an example, so like Elon Musk,
Mhm,
richest man in the world, right?
mhm.
Elon Musk gets paid in Tesla stock. So what he does is he takes his Tesla stock, he goes to a bank, he says, "I need to borrow $50 million." And the bank goes, "Okay, what do you have for collateral?" Elon says, "I have all of this Tesla stock." Now, granted, these are very small numbers, but
Yeah, yeah.
so he uses his Tesla stock as
Leverage.
right. That's his
It's
collateral,
collateral, yeah.
right? So in the meantime, his Tesla stock is increasing in value, right? He is able to take that money from the bank. He lives off of this $50 million that he borrowed from a bank. And in reality, he pays no tax on it because he's actually taken a loss because it's a loan. And he just does that in perpetuity. So if flat tax works, if everybody has to pay income, so if this is what I mean, there's loopholes. There's always loopholes, and smart people will always find loopholes. I don't think the idea that you can really decrease the tax burden on the American people is super realistic unless you cut spending. You've got to cut if you cut the crap out of spending big time,
You
that
can cut
then
spending and still turn the government into business, dude. And that's where everybody has a problem is Donald Trump's turned the country he's running it like a business. He's not running it like a government. You know what I mean? And I think that's one of the things I like about him is
I mean,
sovereign wealth funds,
I
Trump
you got
accounts,
I got
like
news for you, dude. That sovereign wealth fund isn't going to mature for 20 or 30 years. You're not
no,
going to see a goddamn thing out of that
I
for
know.
decades.
I know, but none
I
of
think it
what
can
he's
work,
do no, but none of what
but
is happening now is gonna help us anyway, even the Trump accounts. It's nothing to do with anything that's gonna help us right now,
wi
but I mean,
right,
but you gotta start somewhere.
I hear you. I
You
like
gotta
the
start
idea that he's
somewhere.
but I
Nothing's gonna change where we are in this moment right now other than lowering the cost of gas,
I mean,
truthfully.
there's other things that can be done.
Gas
I
is gonna
just
lower gas is the driving force behind the US economy. If gas prices go down, then the cost of goods goes down 'cause you see it over and over again. Whenever the price of gas dips, the cost of stuff goes down.
I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend it doesn't have a play a factor, and of course it does. But you know, there's a lot of things that one of the biggest things that affects the economy is consumer confidence, and consumer confidence isn't high. People don't go out, and it's true. That's verifiable. When you
No,
look
but what I'm saying is like consumer confidence. Why? Because people are holding on to money. Like
yes,
people hold on. People. I got news for people. People are stupid. Real inflation's down. Real inflation's basically
inflation and cost of living are two different things.
inflation's down. It's the late '80s all over again, Sterl. Like inflation's down. The cost of living's high, but everything's gonna catch up. It'll just catch
And
up. The dollar always catches up,
it
and the
very
cost
well
always
may.
catches up.
It very well may. But what I'm saying
So
is it's the idea that you can one, like I say, we need to wipe out national debt. That's the biggest thing. We need to I mean, as it sits right now, we probably got 2 or 3 decades of keeping going, doing exactly what we're doing right now before it really starts to catch up to us, just because we're the global currency and the largest economy and all of that good stuff. I'm not saying that I'm not sitting here saying that next year, if we don't just get rid of the national debt, the sky is gonna fall, but it needs to be something that we start working towards.
I will tell you something that I think is gonna cut out quite a bit of money out of our national debt pretty
Mhm,
quickly. It's just a theory. It's just if you read the room and you see what they're doing,
mhm.
and you see how we're isolating ourselves into our hemisphere a little bit more,
Sure,
we're putting more of an America first policy out,
sure,
but very nationalist first policy, right?
sure.
Not globalist. I mean, but we are, people say like, oh, Trump's a nationalist. Yeah, he is. He's putting country first, but he's also still an extreme globalist. Like if you look at the stuff that he's doing and the way he plays around the world and the stuff he's saying, he's trying to get people to play ball. You know what I mean? But he's a negotiator. I would not be surprised if you look at the way that we're kind of all this kind of just says sever ties with China. Like make it so that we don't need China, right?
Sure.
Not that we're trying to go to war with China, not that we're trying to do anything, just that we are self-sustainable without anything from China.
Mhm.
If that's the case, I could see Donald Trump just being like, "You know that debt that we owe you, China? Come get
Well
it."
well, they just buy the debt. The debt still exists,
I know,
and
but I mean, they're holding it, and so I just think that I don't know.
well, I mean, first of all, you got a
They expect things back.
long ways to go before that's a
Mhm,
thing.
mhm.
If you like stuff, if you don't like being able to go to
Yeah,
Walmart and buy some
right.
then we could do that right now.
But I
But
could just see us walking away from some of our debts around the world and just being
you
like,
don't
"Come
wanna
get
do
it, prove us
well, then
wrong."
what happens next time? It's just like anything else. You ruin your credit. It's real hard to buy that car, bro.
I
Hard to
know,
get
but
that house loan.
I can see some people if the economy's on the right track just saying, "No, we're not gonna do this right now."
I don't think so. You don't wanna it makes such big news whenever our credit rating drops,
Yeah,
It's okay, but like I say, I think I don't know, man. I don't I think the sovereign wealth fund thing's a great idea. We should 100% do it. You got to make sure that you do it without affecting businesses and cuz once they start like if you start meddling, then it turns
yeah,
into an
yeah,
issue. Then you turn
yeah.
into China.
No, the
But
biggest thing is I'm just glad because you can't turn a cruise ship on a dime, okay? You just
no,
can't do
of
it,
course not.
and we're not gonna be able to turn where we're at that fast. It's just not possible, right? Like, to fix like, we can make things better, but we're not gonna be able to solve long-term long built up problems like the debt and everything else overnight. But God knows, man, it's a breath of fresh air to see someone trying to do some things to make it better down the road.
Sure. Yeah, listen, I'm not saying that any of this is inherently a bad idea.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that you've gotta play the long game with it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah. But it gives me hope for my grandkids that I
Yeah,
don't
for
have
sure.
yet, that aren't born, and that I might not ever have, but still, gives me hope for them.
Did you see this whole thing about, Grok just being able to take somebody's picture they put on X and make them half naked? Did you see that?
No, but thank you for reminding me to not put my pictures on X.
Yeah. Well, don't worry. Elon has come along finally after a long extended period of time and decided that that's probably not the best idea. But yeah, no, like right on X, you could like somebody post a picture of themselves and they're, dressed normally and they're like, "Hey, you know, eating a tub of yogurt or some and Grok can have them. One of the common phrases from what I understand is covered in donut glaze. And so a bunch of people got really upset about it, and I get it, rightfully so, fair enough. But you can't. You have to remember whenever you do anything like complaining about anything, really, the internet is literally full of anonymous trolls, and
And people
so
just
I can't.
try to get you mad.
Oh, dude, I can't remember. I think it was Elon Musk's ex, like his baby mama.
Yeah, yeah.
Somebody posted something of her in a bikini and she got all up in arms about it. And then the next thing you know, it is just the floodgates open. It's just her covered in
Elon
donut
was just
glaze.
sitting there. You know why Elon took a long time. Let's face it, Elon's might be awesome and
Somebody
do a lot of
posted
cool
an
things,
image,
but he's a
took
weirdo.
a picture of Elon walking
I'm
out of a
sure.
building and
I'm
put him in a
sure.
bikini. And his only comment was perfect.
Well, and Elon's like an odd dude, right? Like, I mean, billionaires are odd. He's an odd dude. It would not surprise me if Elon was just sitting there, like, laughing it up, watching all the photos come in for, like, months because he has nothing to do. Because what does he really have to do?
He's a busy dude, man. I'm telling you, guy like
Yeah,
that,
he's gotta be in a lot
he's
of
got a lot
places,
going on.
but he's gotta be in a lot of places, but at the end of the day, he pays a lot of people to do the stuff.
Yeah, from what I understand, he's pretty hands on. But it's one of those things that I saw somebody say that they felt like it was digital assault. And if there is not a more first world statement, first world term that I've ever heard, listen, I'm not saying that you should go around doctoring photos of people and putting them in and making them naked or putting them in bikinis when they're dressed normally or
All you're
whatever.
saying is a cyber attack.
It's just
A
like I
digital
said.
assault's a cyber attack. Like,
I mean,
what? I don't know, man. It's weird.
it's
It's a f it's a very modern world problem.
yeah, talk about first world problems. On another note, it's you have you seen that I lost it. I had it, but it's gone now. You got anything you want to talk about?
Yeah, I did see that, dude. It was great. I
It was
loved it.
wild.
It was incredible. Had a great time watching it. What are you talking about?
I I lost my
God.
train of thought.
It's literally gone, right? Like, not
It's
come back.
gone.
I gave you a second, thought it might come back, old man. Um, nope, gone. Okay, so yes, there is something I'd like to talk about. Them New England Patriots, son.
Knew that was coming. As soon as I opened it up, I knew that's what was coming. All right,
Sunday at 3,
hit me with
son.
it.
We're gonna play the Houston Texans. So Houston's got an incredible defense. I'm not gonna take anything away from them. CJ Stroud's a great quarterback. They've got great position. They've got like great position players, key players out there with the wide receivers, Nico Collins, Nick Chubb. They've got a good team. Okay. It's supposed to be snowing in Foxborough. And it's gonna be cold. They're coming from Houston, playing in a little dome, little inclement weather. And guess what? That Patriots defense is the number one rush defense when Big Milt Williams is up in the middle. Okay. Milt's back. Spillane's back. We look great. That defense shut down the Chargers. Justin Herbert is still Justin Herbert. I know the Chargers don't have a great offensive line, but at the end of the day, the Chargers are a top 5 defense. I kind of felt like in the first half of that game against the Chargers, Josh McDaniels and Mike Vrabel were like, let's go out there and just see what they're going to throw at us. Let's just see what they're going to throw at us. So we tried some things, but we really didn't throw our offense out there. Drake struggled a little bit in the first half, and it was just seemed like a kind of like a schoolyard like play. It wasn't anything that seemed solid in one direction or the other, whether it was run pass. It was almost like a feel it out, see what they're throwing at us for looks for defense. And God knows, man, we went into halftime and it was almost like Josh McDaniels walked in there and goes, "All right, got it. This is what we're going to do." And then Drake May goes 11 to 14, 172 yards, throws a tutty. We win the game. And he makes the play that he makes a pass to Hunter Henry that only Drake May seems to be able to make quite significantly consistently right now. And then
Mhm.
on top of that, he runs for 40 yards in the second half and leads the team in rushing. And it's like, how is this kid not the MVP? He's playing a top 5 defense 2 years. The Chargers have been a top 5 defense the last 2 years.
Right.
They've got their people, they're healthy, and we go in and make adjustments at halftime, and he actually absolutely carves them up. Like, I just didn't understand it, man. It was kinda like, "Come on." And then our defense was stout, so, I think our offense is better than the Houston Texans offense. I do. I think our defense is maybe not as good as the Texans defense, but it's certainly very good enough to stop their offense. So here's my prediction for this weekend.
Oh, prediction
Here's my prediction for
going
this
on the
weekend.
internet.
I'm going to make a couple of predictions here. Okay. So my prediction is that the New England Patriots beat the Houston Texans 24-17. My prediction is that the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen go down to Denver, up to Denver. I guess it's weird, right? Like, do you go down to Denver when you're in Buffalo? Because you're still going up in the mountains. So, like, do you go up or down? Anyway, just a thought. But so they're going to Denver either way, right? I do think that Josh Allen will do enough to win that game, regardless of Denver's defense and everything else. Setting up round 3 at Foxborough 2 weekends away between Buffalo division rivals, Buffalo and New England. I think it's coming, and I think, it's certainly I think there's a crash course coming, and it's gonna be awesome. I think that out west, you're gonna see that the, NFC West has a division, probably a division rivalry game as well. I don't think that I I think the Rams are really good. Don't think it's crazy. So the NFC West has 3 teams in the playoffs: the Niners, the Rams, and the Seahawks. And the 4 teams out west are those 3, or out in the NFC right now, are those 3 and the Chicago Bears. And what's sad is the Chicago Bears might be the worst team out of the 4. So that one division, I don't know. I could probably say this: someone from the NFC West is going to the Super Bowl.
Sound like a safe
Probably,
bet.
yeah, 75% shot. I mean, um, but no, I mean, it's gonna be interesting. But I do think the Patriots will win. I think Drake May. I hate to say it. I think Drake May is gonna lose the MVP to Matthew Stafford.
Think that's a pretty safe bet. Yeah.
I don't think it's right. I don't think it's fair. But I think Stafford's 37, and they're probably looking at it as, hey, let's vote for the guy now.
Hmm.
Drake's gonna have his opportunities. But I mean, he just came off of he's the only guy in NFL history to throw for 4,000 yards and run for 450 yards and 5 touchdowns. Like, you know what I mean? It's just, I'm excited to have the kid. I was listening to Robert Kraft talk about him today. He was talking about, he goes, his favorite thing about Drake Mays is humility, because he's just so like, trying to build up everybody around him all the time and just very humble, and like, it's his fault, it's not theirs. And he's like, I don't know if I've seen a 21-year-old lead the way that Drake May does. So I don't know, man. What do you think? You think the Patriots are gonna win?
Yes.
That's all you gonna say about it?
I don't know a goddamn thing about football. Like I genuinely don't. Like I watched the game. I saw it. Like he did a great job sticking in the pocket. He found good angles. Like, but I don't have the ability to talk intelligently about football. So I'm just not gonna do it. Not,
So
I'm gonna listen to
I'm gonna
you.
send you a book.
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna send
listen
you
to
a book. It's gonna
I'm
be called The Idiot's Guide to Football.
I understand the game. I understand how it's played. I know what the rules are. I get the general gist. But it's not like it's not the way I could talk about basketball or soccer or golf and something like that. So I'm just not going to do it. I'm going to engage Yes, I think that they're going to win. I'm excited to see what happens. I always like watching a New England team beat the shit out of somebody. So I'm going to watch and enjoy it and drink a beer and have a good time.
I'd sit
Uh,
there and say Drake May might be the greatest linebacker to ever play football.
I'll tell you what, Drake May, he's something else.
That Joe
speaking-
Montana, he's the greatest.
He's the best tackler I've seen since Joe Montana. Anyways, all right.
Some high quality H2O.
Anyways, so I thought I just remembered what I wanted to talk about. It just came to me. Came to me from on high.
And you
All
look
right.
a little excited about it, so I'm a little
I
worried.
am. I want to have a
God.
discussion. I'm gonna, as you might say, take a stand. Even. All right. I'm gonna tell a story.
Oh God.
I'm gonna tell you a little story. And this story starts back in 1994. Back in 1994, the number one sport in the country was baseball. And I don't know if you remember what happened in 1994. Do you? It's okay if you don't.
There's a lot of things that happened in 94.
I'm aware. Okay.
I turned double digits, dude. That was like the highlight of my year then. You know what I mean? Like I was no longer single digits, man. I was a big boy.
In 1994, the MLB went on strike.
Yes,
Players
they
went
did.
on strike.
Yes,
and you know what happened when they returned from their strike?
Michael Jordan played baseball.
No. Basketball and football both surpassed baseball as the most popular sports in the country. And baseball has never since recovered. They went on strike. I don't know if you've heard, but the WNBA, their Players Association, has decided at a 98% vote that they agree to go on strike should it come to that. Ladies, bring it in. Bring it in. Team huddle. Come on, bring it in.
It's over.
Hold on. I'm having my moment. Bring it in. Ladies, bring it in. Okay. If the number one sport in the country could not survive a strike, what the fuck makes you think that you can? Help me out. Help me understand. You just finally started getting some momentum, and now you're like, let me get some of that profit share money. Let me get some of that revenue share. While everybody else has been
that we don't have.
While everybody else has been paying for you losing money for the last 20-something years, you're like, let me see them dollars.
I'll take it a step further.
If they go on strike.
I'll take it a step further. Ladies, you should probably try to find a way to marry an actual NBA player because y'all are done. Like,
it's a tall order.
I've seen, I know.
Hey,
Angel, call me.
Ain't winning no.
I watched out.
I know why I know why Angel Reese can't shoot very well. It's because there's 4.5 feet between her eyes. It's hard to judge distance. Anyways,
I thought it might be because armpit hair was weighing her down, but
listen, man. Like I say, I got no problem with women's sports. I wish you ladies nothing but the best. I hope great success shines down upon you. However, if you do
enjoy the Olympics every 4 years, ladies.
Mark my words, the league will fold because people just barely give enough of a to watch right now. And if you go on strike, you're going to lose all that momentum and people are going to go back to fully not giving a
Honestly, I'd rather pay just to watch Caitlin Clark shoot threes against Steph Curry. I mean, outside of that, you know what I mean? Like maybe Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham can just like play one-on-one all the time every night. I'd watch that.
Like I say, I think this will destroy that league. Like
dude, that league's already destroyed though. Let's be real.
It's not.
How is it going to be saved, dude? They've lost too much money.
Listen,
they don't have.
It doesn't matter because as we say, a rising tide lifts all ships. If they don't go on strike and they keep doing what they're doing, they're bringing in eyes, they're putting asses in seats to a greater extent than what they ever have before. Now, mind you, they still lost $50-something million last year, but at least they can point to things. They can go, listen, look at our TV revenue has gone up. Look, our attendance records have gone up. You can point to that upward growth. That will save them. That league's not going anywhere unless they go on strike. They go on strike. I don't think they
Angel
survive
looks like Sid from Ice Age.
I literally said that a week ago.
Yes, and now I was trying to remember what you said, but that's it. When you were talking about her eyes being that far, I was like, "Yeah, okay, yeah, I gotcha. Yeah. Sorry, girl."
A dainty giant, the last one of the season.
Oh, dude. Oh, man. Yeah, that's a good stand, Sterl. I like that. That's a tough stand.
Like I say, I hope that they don't go on strike. I genuinely do. I like listen. It's not my cup of tea. It's not a game I enjoy watching. But obviously, 1.4 million people tuned into the WNBA finals 2 years ago.
Right.
So obviously somebody is watching it, and good on them. I'm happy for them. If you pull that momentum now, listen,
You don't
it's
have
not a good.
enough.
You don't have
You
enough
just don't
momentum
have
to do
enough
that.
win
So
it, man. You guys
if
gotta.
that took out, if that dropped baseball from the number one watch sport in the country to the number three, realistically, what does it do to the NBA,
Ladies, let me
WNBA?
tell you something. Even Michael Jordan couldn't save baseball. He went and he played. He tried. He played for the White Sox. Guess what? The ratings never bounced back to NFL or NBA numbers.
Like I said, I hope that they cooler heads prevail and they figure out a way. Because I'll be honest, the numbers that were offered in the current CBA were fantastic comparatively. If
Yeah.
you went into your job and they offered you, so the minimum salary in the
Yeah.
WNBA is $68,000, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a great starting salary out of college.
I mean, for a professional athlete, it's not fantastic. I get why they're upset about it. But what was offered to them was a minimum salary of $250,000 and a league average salary of $500,000 with a max contract of 1.25. I'm going to be honest. If
That's
you're
way
if
more
you're
money than they have coming in.
it, it's near on 5 times what. See, if my salary grew 5x, you think I'd be like, nah, keep that.
I want that million, son.
Like I say, it's unfortunate. I think it's probably gonna happen. I feel bad for the fans that really do like the game and want to see it grow, and it's like I say, uh, maybe I'll be wrong.
All right,
I
so
can't see the future, but
something I wanted to ask you about.
something
Did you
tells
see
me.
this story about Ja and him
Which
buying a
one?
$3.2 million house in Miami this past offseason? Because there were rumors that he was going to be traded to Miami. And so now supposedly there's a lot of talk that he could be going to Miami, which him and Bam would be a good little high pick and roll rim running group like duo together. But they would probably, I don't know what you give up. What is Miami giving?
Miami's not a good choice for Ja.
No, it's a terrible place. There's too many nightclubs.
I was just gonna
Best
say
place for
there's too
him to
much.
go. Best place to put him.
Oklahoma City. If we're
Except for
just trying to,
they're
if we're just
celebrating. They're celebrating too much.
if
If I'm trying to calm Ja Morant down right now, you know where I'm putting him? I'm putting him in Minnesota. Ain't nobody going out. Too soon?
that's a good
Too soon?
it's never too soon. Yeah, man. That's a solid pick. Like I say, flyover states. If you can pick that's where he needs to go. He needs to go somewhere where he cannot get his stupid ass in
Or
trouble.
Indiana?
Indiana, that's a great place for Ja to go.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. Like,
Just hang out with the
dude,
corn. Corn ain't causing trouble.
I don't know. He'd find a way to get in trouble with it. All of a sudden, he's making like corn guns.
He's
Pew, 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 pew.
Ja can go to Indiana and pull out a gun and they just think he's one of the good old boys. It's no big deal there.
Yeah,
Um
maybe.
Miami. Yeah, I could see that. I don't
I mean, it makes sense.
Riley loves a project.
Yep.
Loves an attitude. We'll see. I don't know. Ja is vastly more talented than he's very talented, but his off-court issues, I think, overshadow his ability.
Yeah. Well, and he's injured a lot.
He is.
You know what I mean? Like, truthfully, if you look at it, I mean, you've had him in fantasy. I've had him in fantasy. No,
I've
I've
never
had him
had
in
him.
fantasy. Okay. He's injured. The guy's injured quite a bit, man. So I don't know. Then there was talk of the Nets for like Michael Porter Jr. I'm like, do not put that guy in Brooklyn. What is wrong with you?
Terrible
He
plan.
cannot be in New York.
And additionally, Michael Porter Jr. is having a fantastic season.
Yeah,
I
you know what the
don't-
problem is? You know what the problem is? The Nets
Small-
don't want to win.
Fair.
And so there's a lot of talk that they're trying to get rid of him because they don't want to win. You know what I mean? So I was actually thinking a couple of spots. So one of the things I was hearing about MPJ is him for Kuminga, which honestly he'd be a great fit alongside Steph, man. Like really good fit. And his shooting, his defense, all that. The other place I heard that I thought was a very interesting spot for him was San Antonio.
How are they going to make that work?
Harrison Barnes.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right.
He's a younger, better, crazier shooter.
That makes them scary. They're already coming. You like we
Right.
talked about, that they're coming over the horizon. It's like,
But imagine they get MPJ. Like, that's pretty dirty, dude. Like,
that's
that'd be a great fit. That'd be a
that's a
great
bad team
fit.
right there.
I also heard, so Cleveland's sucking. They got to do something. They're going to try to trade their small guard, possibly. Love small guards. They're my
Which
favorite.
one?
Mitchell and Garland.
Mitchell and Garland.
They really need to trade Mitchell. They really need to trade Mitchell. What they need to do is they need to trade Mitchell and they need to trade Jared Allen. I don't know. I don't know what you do with Mitchell, but you've got to Darius Garland can play a good backcourt still. You know what I mean? I think that he could probably play a consistent sort of point for you. You know what I mean? Like hybrid point role. But I don't know. Mitchell for MPJ, Mitchell for LaMelo Ball, Mitchell for Troy Murphy, like those guys. Like, I mean, there's some people that you could trade Mitchell for. I mean, that I think Mitchell for Drew Holiday. They need a point guard. They need a. I mean,
Jesus.
I'm just saying, dude. Mitchell is not a champion. Like,
listen, he's still a 30-ish point a night guy.
He is, but he's 6 foot, and it doesn't
trade somebody with the city of
let
Cleveland.
Me finish my thought.
The city of Cleveland would burn the Quicken Loans Center down if you traded Donovan Mitchell for almost anybody you just mentioned.
Not with as bad as they played. And Mitchell nets you the biggest return. I think they should build that team around Mobley. I think they should get a young guy to build around Mobley and get rid of Jared Allen.
And I don't know, buddy. You're talking some crazy ass. I'm not gonna lie.
How is that crazy? They need to build around Mobley. He's a hybrid type of player. He's 7 foot and he can shoot. He can play defense.
Donovan Mitchell is a 30-point-a-night guy. He is a good defender. He's not exactly what I would refer to as
he's not burns out by the end of the season because of his size. It's a Jalen Brunson situation again.
Well, one, he's bigger than Jalen Brunson.
Yeah,
Jalen Brunson's listed at 6 foot. He's 5'8".
I know, but neither one of them can drag you to a championship. Neither one of them.
Listen,
and do you want it? And if you free up that kind of money with a Mitchell, you probably get something nice in return.
Like who? It's not like Cleveland is a free agent landing spot. Nobody likes Boston because we're racist.
I'm not talking about the free agent.
Cleveland because it's boring.
I'm not talking about the free agent side. I'm talking about with the trade of Donovan Mitchell. Probably get a decent. Dude, Mitchell for Booker? Devin Booker? Mitchell for Ja Morant?
You want to talk about somebody who doesn't
Mitchell for Ja Morant?
Again, I mean, like I don't know.
I'm just saying there are people out there to make that trade, but Cleveland's got to do something, dude. They got nothing. They are failing. Great. He scores 30 points a night. Guess what? Jaylen Brown scores 30 points a night on a winning team.
I hear you. But here's what I'm going to say. Not every team is in a win now mentality.
Cleveland is.
Since when?
They've been trying to be.
Every team is trying to be.
Dude,
doesn't mean that they're going to do it.
No, but I'm saying, like, you can't keep doing the same things expecting, a different outcome.
Speaking of trying to be, did you hear AD is trying to be healthy? It's like, no, I don't need surgery on my wrist. It's fine. It's like broken.
He's just like, AD, man, that guy just needs to wrap himself in bubble wrap and retire.
Man, the Nico Harris should get if there's a reward, if there was an award for the worst period front office in the history of the NBA, that guy, as a GM, that guy is going to go down in history.
Don't get me started on this, because I do think Nico is an idiot, but I also think there might be some inner workings behind the scene type of stuff going on.
Well, there's the whole gambling aspect of them possibly
the whole
wanting
Chris Paul
to move.
trade again.
Listen, I'm not saying that there wasn't, but he still had to want to move him.
Luka's team told them that he wasn't happy there and he wasn't going to resign.
Listen, you said
And
that,
then stopped answering the phone for months. All I'm saying is,
it's not like he was
yes,
on the end of his contract.
yes, there was issues there. The other thing is, Luka is kind of pudgy in Dallas. Luka in LA is not pudgy.
No, I'm not saying he is. Listen,
I'm just saying, man, I would not be surprised if I think the NBA had something to do with it.
I'm going to say this: the fact
Because
that
how did Dallas get the first pick of that draft? Come on, man.
I'm going to point this out. You're giving the benefit of the doubt to Nico Harris, and you still think
Dallas got the first pick in the draft, dude. I mean, come on, man. They got Anthony Davis and Cooper Flag out of the deal.
Not
The NBA said, "Hey, you give the we need Luka in LA. We need him in a big market. You go ahead and send him there. We'll give you the first pick of the draft."
No, I can guarantee that's not how it went down. I promise you that's not how it went down. It probably went down more like, we want to trade Luka. These are the teams that we're interested in trading him to, and the NBA and the league said, we'd love to have Luka in a big market. How about LA? That's more plausible. I don't think I don't think the league went to Dallas and said, you need to trade Luka to LA.
No, but I think when they mentioned it, they also said, and if you trade him to the big market, we will give you the first pick in the draft.
Oh, I'm sure they did. I'm not saying that they didn't, but like I say,
that draft was pre-decided before it even happened.
My point
and it was
is
a great landing spot for Cooper, though. But
my point is that you are giving Nico Harris the benefit of the doubt, and yet you still continue to say how terrible Joe Mazzulla is.
Actually, I was very nice about Joe Mazzulla.
You were passable last week about Joe Mazzulla.
I said he's done a great job with the head game, the mind games.
Yeah, it's like
he has convinced a bunch of second-round picks that they are first-round role players.
One day you'll give that man his flowers. I'm telling you, it's gonna happen.
Not giving him his flowers. Dude, literally, like, our team, if you look at our bench, it's all second-round picks.
Yeah. A lot of teams are filled with second-round picks.
If you look, man, you said that. We're like, I think. No, we have a lot of second-round picks on our team.
We love second-round picks. You know that?
And Joe has somehow managed, between him and Jalen, they've convinced them that they are a championship caliber talent.
Well, that's because they are.
No, that's because Joe Mazzulla plays weird head games.
That's how well
Joe Mazzulla brought them into practice on day one, played military music, military war sounds for 10 minutes in the dark. I can just picture like bird, like those military scenes where it's like the music's all like quiet and the birds are going and chirping, and it's right before like about to get real, and Joe's got them all blindfolded, and the next thing you know, it's like, dude, he did. You didn't hear about that whole thing? Oh, Joe did?
No, I heard about it. It's just the way you are recounting it is giving me PTSD.
No, I'm just wondering, like, can't you picture Joe doing some crazy shit like that? To just sit and listen.
I'm sure
we have to dodge each bullet.
This is a man who once
out of a 50 cal turret.
This is a man who once said that he wanted to have a pack of wolves to guard his house. Like I say, he's a weird. I'm not saying he's not a weird dude. He's a weird dude, but so is Jaylen Brown.
That's why they get along. And then Tatum just doesn't know how to tell him he doesn't like him.
winning.
Tatum doesn't like either one of them, but he just doesn't say anything because he's so passive. He doesn't know how.
Tatum, listen. Let's be real. Tatum is corny as
You know what Tatum, I was thinking about the other day, you know who Tatum reminds me of? Because he's so laid back and just kind of weird. He reminds me of a late career Rasheed Wallace. Like when he was with the Celtics and like just kind of like chilling and dapping people up. And like, because I was watching Tatum at the game the other night and he's just like walking around. He's like,
What's he supposed to be doing?
I don't know, but he just looked weird. And then he was like hugging who was it? There was someone, it was one of the Celtics or the Patriots players, and he walks over and like gives him a hug, and I'm like,
Oh, this podcast. I
oh
guess
man.
ChatGPT was right. Oh. All right, my brother.
But
We've been doing
that's
this
one
for
of
a
the
minute.
likable that's one of the likable things
One of the
about it.
likable things about us. So we just go off the rails. The rails.
You want to do some rails? No. We're not doing any rails, bro. We're not doing rails.
I don't even know what the rail is.
Lines of code.
Oh, that.
Yeah. Yeah, we ain't doing rails, bro. This ain't the 80s.
Well, now it's just meth anyway, so.
It's just no, dude. It's now it's that fent, bro. Except for Donald Trump killed my supply. No.
Don't do
Anyway.
drugs, kids.
Don't do drugs. Everybody stay happy, stay healthy, stay in favor of all things Patriot this weekend. Open-minded, optimistic. Throw some love our way, like root for us. We need it. And stay, dude. That
I'm the king of my driveway, mowing lines so straight. Got a toolbox full of glory, and a mortgage by the plate.